The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. Gloating Jeremy Greene is alongside.
Hi.
Yeah, he's going to be insufferable today as Mike fucking White. Wow, where did that come from?
Hi, Bengals fans. So nice to see you. If you didn't know this was coming, you don't know me that well.
Well, no one expects the Spanish Inquisition.
Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? The Jets.
Oh, my God.
But now here's the part that nobody expects.
Yeah.
It's just not that big a fucking deal. It's not. This is being made out to be like the greatest loss. Oh, God, what will happen if the Bengals? Oh, they're not as good as with. Stop.
Yeah.
Stop it. You know what happened to you yesterday? Let me explain it to you really easily. Because this is going to be a victory lap. Hey, you remember that thing I said about you should probably do something with that line?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it just cost you an NFL game.
Yeah.
Zach Taylor just cost you an NFL game.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's really no reason that you should have lost. I mean, Mike White did exactly what he was asked to do. And good on you. But there's no sweeping declaration here of, oh, now the Bengals suck. No, they don't. No, they don't. They're fine. Are they the best team in the AFC? No. But I don't think anybody with an IQ above salad dressing ever thought that.
Right.
They're good. They are good. The defense let you down to a point yesterday because you could not figure out how to deal with Michael Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what you could possibly have – I said yesterday on what was an interesting show of me by myself. Technology. It's fun. That was well-timed.
Yeah.
There's no sweeping declaration here. If you were in on the Bengals on Saturday, you should still be in on them today.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets are not the worst team in the NFL. They're not Detroit Lion bad. Speaking of that, Tank will pay his penance tomorrow.
Dude,
It'll be a wasabi Tuesday.
I get no points for going 3-1?
No.
Come on.
No.
Come on.
No, because you lost the one that mattered. You lost the one that you talk shit about. So that's what happens when you talk shit. I'm going to thoroughly enjoy that.
They're the better team. They are the better team. I did say that.
But we'll get back to the Jets and the Bengals. There is there's breaking news that we have to talk about.
That's right.
No.
I want to do it. Why not?
No. Because that button is stupid.
Okay.
Derrick Henry likely done for the year.
Yeah.
And I would say, that wasn't real predictable, except I predictabled it.
Mm-hmm.
The belief with the Tennessee Titans is that it's a Jones fracture for Derrick Henry. And let me it's called an avulsion fracture. Let me give you the WebMD definition of what a Jones fracture is.
Okay.
A Jones fracture is a fracture of the bone on the pinky toe side of your foot, the fifth metatarsal bone. This fracture can happen when you increase your training.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-huh. You don't say. You don't say that Derrick Henry winds up with some kind of weird-ass bone fracture in his foot when you've run him into the ground.
Right.
I was screaming from the rooftops yesterday because I watched a lot of this game. I red zoned it at home. Halloween got a little aggressive for me.
Mm-hmm.
I watched a lot of this game. And when they put him back in, I went, this is the undoing of Mike Vrabel.
Right.
You cannot help yourself because he was very obviously hurt. There was no doubt something was up with the foot,
mm-hmm.
and Mike Vrabel just can't help himself. Oh, that's it. Put him back in there. Run him in the ground. And now you get what you get.
Yeah.
I'm not happy the guy's hurt. I'm not taking a victory lap on this. It's the most predictable shit I've ever seen in my life.
Mm-hmm. You can't continue to give people that kind of workload and expect that they're just never going to break. Everyone's under the assumption that he's this Terminator that cannot be destroyed. And here you go. He's got a broken foot now. and apparently he's having the MRI today, and they will officially find out whether or not he's going to be done for the rest of the season. It's bad news for the Tennessee Titans. I mean, now you got to turn over to Darrington Evans and Jeremy McNichols. Hey, maybe they can swing a trade for Marlon Mack. No, that's in the division. They won't do that. There's really no option for them now.
No, they'll go Darrington Evans and some Jeremy McNichols. Mm-hmm. You want me to tell you the most damning thing about Derrick Henry?
What's that?
All right, so he's going to miss the rest of the year, right?
Yep.
All right, so he will have played – they played 8 games?
Yeah.
If you look at touches for last year, he would have been – he would have finished 12th in touches last year in 8 games.
Yeah.
Do you see how stupid that sounds when I say it out loud? He would have finished 12th in the NFL in touches in half a season. Mm-hmm. And you know what? The vast majority of running backs that are ahead of him from last year, you know what they have in common?
What's that?
They've all been hurt at some point this year.
Right.
He's 1. Dalvin Cook's 2. Josh Jacobs is 3. David Montgomery is 4. Weird. All 4 of those guys have been hurt at some point this year. Mm-hmm. This ain't that fucking hard to figure out. I caught a lot of flack for, Pittsburgh shouldn't have taken Najee Harris in the first round. He shouldn't. You know why? Because running backs are dispensable.
Right.
And you should have – I'm looking at teams like the Jets, the 49ers outside of yesterday. I mean, there's just a slew of teams. The Detroit Lions. Mm-hmm. If you notice that no running back for the Detroit Lions gets more than like 14 touches a game,
right?
You know why? Because there ain't that big of a damn difference between them. DeAndre Swift was a second-round pick. Jamal Williams was a free agent that signed for a bag of nickels. Not that big a difference. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, Jamar Jefferson. Yeah, guess what? He got touches too.
Yeah.
Because that's how you should run a running back room in the NFL. The fact that Mike Vrabel can't figure that out is why you're not a good NFL coach.
Adam Black in the comments says, how does that compare to CMC? Same thing. Christian McCaffrey got, what was it, like 99% of the snaps in his first season, 97% in the second season, 94% in the third season, and guess what? He ain't been right since.
Yeah, because here's the thing. You go back to 2019, guess who the leader in touches was?
CMC.
Guess who was 2? Ezekiel Elliott, who had injury issues last year.
Right.
Nick Chubb, Derrick Henry, Chris Carson, Le'Veon Bell. Weird. Mm-hmm. Weird how every guy on that list winds up hurt in some shape, form, or fashion. Because it's not that fucking hard to figure out.
Right.
It's just not. I mean, if you have a 4th grade education, you can figure out, hey, maybe we shouldn't give somebody the ball 30 times a game. And now, look where you are. You have a 3.5 game lead in the division, and I'll be really honest with you, I still think you're going to win it, solely because I think every team in your division sucks. Mm-hmm. But now you have no shot. No Derrick Henry, you have no shot.
Right. And they'll be...
you'll be fodder for whoever the best wild card team is.
Matthew Hoffman says he just got an alert that the Tennessee Titans are going to be trading for a running back. No shit.
Well, of course they are, because they had Darrington Evans and Jeremy McNichols.
Right.
They're going to trade for a running back. Okay, you got a day. Who could that possibly be? If you just look down the line in the NFL, who could you possibly go get? I mean, it's going to be from a bad team.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
do you think, like the running backs that have been talked about, okay, Marlon Mack, he's out. He's in the division. They're not going to do that.
Not going to happen.
Tyson Williams, no. Baltimore's not going to trade to help out Tennessee, beat them in their push for the playoff. It's not going to happen.
Philip Lindsay is the one that's screaming to me. I know it's in the division. I don't think Houston cares.
No.
Houston will literally run whatever running back's wearing a uniform. They did it yesterday.
Right.
Thanks, David Johnson. Dick.
What did he do?
The other one I'm telling you right now, Melvin Gordon. The Denver Broncos know what they are.
Yeah.
That's the one that screams to me. Because if you want to talk about an imitation Derrick Henry, Melvin Gordon can be an imitation Derrick Henry. Mm-hmm. You got the rest of the year with him. Denver knows what they have. They know Javonte Williams is the better running back, and he's the running back of the future. If I'm Tennessee, that's the call I'm making right now.
Yeah, I had that bite me in a fantasy league. Who knew I should have started Melvin Gordon over Derrick Henry? Jesus Christ. I love days like that.
In the comments, I'm seeing a lot of Ronald Jones. Ronald Jones doesn't fit this system at all.
Mm-mm.
You need somebody that's going to be able to carry the water.
Yeah.
I mean, the best one would be Tony Pollard, but obviously Dallas Cowboys aren't going to.
That ain't going to happen. Yeah. You can't find another physical freak.
And this
like
is going to sound stupid.
Yeah.
I'd make the call to the Chicago Bears about David Montgomery. I swear to you I would, because I think they would do it. I think I could convince them to do it.
I mean, Khalil Herbert has been running the ball pretty well.
Been better. He's been better, and he fits better.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he didn't have a great day yesterday. I think he only averaged like 3 yards a carry yesterday.
He was fine.
Yeah.
He was fine.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two calls I would make. You would have to tell me no. I'm going to go after. I'm going to hard pursue Melvin Gordon because that's the one that makes the most sense because he's on an expiring deal.
Right.
But you need somebody to take this immense workload off Derrick Henry. And if you don't, this is going to be a predictable end to many seasons moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think it's going to have too many. I don't think there'll be too many more seasons coming down the road for Derrick Henry. You need 30 years old?
No.
27?
He's 26.
27. Oh, really?
Derrick Henry is 26 years old.
Oh, okay. I thought he was getting close to the 30 mark.
No, I mean, his body is.
Yeah.
Body-wise, he's 27. He
27.
turns 28 in January.
Yeah. Okay.
So, yeah, I mean, to me, that's the two calls I'm making. I'm calling the Chicago Bears about David Montgomery, and I'm calling the Denver Broncos about Melvin Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Because this offense is predicated on somebody in that backfield being good enough to threaten you.
Yeah. Ronald Jones is not a good between the tackles runner, by the way. I'm seeing a lot of this in the comment section. Ronald Jones makes a lot of sense.
He does not fit that offense at all.
No, he doesn't. Take it from a guy who's really hoped and prayed that he was going to come around and be a real, and ball security is an issue with him as well. He's a minefield.
Mike Davis, that's another name.
Yeah.
It's just another name that I can't tell you it's going to happen. I don't know that they want that kind of investment, but that's another name that makes sense.
Yeah. Now, is Ronald Jones an upgrade from Darrington Evans?
In this offense, probably no.
Okay.
All of the reasons that Ronald Jones talent-wise, yeah, but that's not how this works. All of the problems that Ronald Jones has in Tampa, the reason he can't get on the field, they're all going to be problems in Tennessee too.
Mm-hmm.
So there are guys, and I would say it's probably going to be one of the ones I've said. David Montgomery is the one that makes all the sense in the world to me.
Okay.
Because I've been looking at that going, Khalil Herbert has to have a role moving forward. And I think the only way you're going to do that is to clear the way out in front of him.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's talk about Mike White.
The pride of Western Kentucky. J-E-T-S, Mike White. Woohoo!
Where in the world did that come from? That was one of the stories that you look at and you just got to go, they need to make a movie out of that.
They probably will when he turns into Kurt Warner. At least if you read Jet's Twitter, because that's what he is.
That's what he is.
Yeah, he's Kurt Warner 2.0.
Right. Mike White, the third string, I guess he was
the backup.
He was the backup quarterback. He was the backup quarterback, but still nobody knew who the hell he was.
I mean, I did.
Well,
mainly because I went, how in the shit are we going into a season with Mike White as the backup?
Everybody thought, they got to have some kind of seasoned vet or something to sit behind the rookie. And Zach Wilson and Mike White sitting there just waiting for his opportunity. And then it comes, and holy hell. I mean, if you watch the end of last week when he supplanted Zach Wilson, you never would have thought that this was coming in his first start, his debut start.
You saw a drive. There was one drive against New England that looked like a real-life NFL quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And then the rest of it looked pretty dreadful. At the end of the day, Mike White was not that good. He just did exactly what they asked him to do.
Right.
And I'll be honest with you. You know why this is – I have heard more people say Zach Wilson should just sit and watch Mike White. Stop talking.
Well, I mean, at this point, he needs to until he's completely healthy.
And he will.
I mean, that's what the Jets can do.
And the minute
now.
he's healthy, guess what?
He's back in.
He's right back in there.
Right.
But here's what yesterday did above all else. It gave Mike LaFleur the ability to look at Jet fans and go, it's not me. You've been up my ass and to the left. It's not me. He called a great game yesterday. Mm-hmm. But what you have to look at is Zach Wilson was up in the press box with the coaching staff. Yeah. I've never seen that before. And this was the coaching staff going, look, this is what we're asking you to do. check down. You don't have to play hero ball all the time. And Mike White was the definition of that. Mm-hmm. He was the definition of average. He just so happened to throw 400 yards. QBR yesterday. What do you think his QBR was?
Mike White?
Mm-hmm. Thinks, it's got to be 80,
It's gonna
right?
be like 70.
It was 54.
Really?
Yeah. He wasn't that good. Threw 2 interceptions. He was fine. Mm-hmm. He did exactly what you asked him to do. And you know what he told me definitively? Rob Salah's the right guy. Rob Salah's the right guy. Mike LaFleur's the right guy. Zach Wilson, it's on you. You got to figure this shit out. Because a journeyman backup just came in and made this look like a legitimate offense when you could not run a greasy peg up a cat's ass. Oh, but Michael Carter had 77. Yeah, he was fine. Mm-hmm. Everybody else was pretty mundane. Mm-hmm. But they used running backs out of the backfield. No Corey Davis. It was a great game plan.
Yep. Carter, not only did he have the 77 yards on the ground, but also catching 9 passes for 95 yards.
He's a very good, very, very good NFL player. Yeah. I was 100% right on Michael Carter.
You were. And now this makes, I believe it's 19 catches for him in the last 2 weeks.
He's very good.
This is the path now.
This Jets team is what you want to claim the Lions are.
Yes.
They are. Do they have a talent deficiency? Yes.
Mm-hmm. But they do have some talent. Apparently.
Derek Farrow, look, and I want to say this directly to Bengals fans. We set this up on purpose because I feel like a lot of people, if you saw my YouTube video, my Facebook Live video, did I have a little fun with the Bengals? Yes, I did. Now, it's Overreaction Monday, so that's what we have to do is we have to overreact to things. Do the Jets have a quarterback controversy? That's overreaction.
No.
Now, if he comes out and does that again against Indianapolis on Thursday, which yes, I do believe he will.
Really?
Yes, I'm telling you right now, I don't know what that number is, and I do not care. We'll get to the Colts in a little bit, but I'm telling you, I saw something out of that Jets team. I took way more from the Jets than I took from the Bengals.
Mm-hmm. Now, are you being fooled again? Because I remember this same kind of tenor coming out of the Tennessee game.
No, if you remember, I said Tennessee had no receivers. This is a depleted team that could not stay in front of the chains against the Jets, and Zach Wilson took what he was given. Mm-hmm. That is not what this was. They beat the Bengals. Mm-hmm. Straight up. 100%. You're a healthy team. We beat you. And here's what I took from that. The Jets can be that version of the Detroit Lions of, we're just a scrappy team and we play hard. That's what the Jets will be. They're going to be a team that's going to be a thorn in your ass. And when they play the Jaguars, they will beat the Jaguars to death. Mm-hmm. They will beat the hell out of bad teams. You're still not good.
Right.
You're still growing. This is still a rebuild. My bigger takeaway, and for me, it's not even close. Hashtag Bengals aren't real is a real thing. No, the fuck it's not. That team's still really good. You know what the Jets did that I had yet to see a team do against the Bengals?
What's that?
They looked at Jamar Chase and said, man on man, they left Jamar Chase on an island. And you cannot beat us. And here's why you can't beat us. Because we're going to get to your quarterback so fast that all these double moves and all this bullshit that Jamar Chase does, we're not going to let you do that.
Right.
We're going to put Bryce Hall and we're going to put Brandon Echols on this kid. And you know what? He's going to get open. And he did. A lot. Problem was Burrow couldn't get in the ball.
Yeah. The pressure was so hot on
because
Burrow.
Shaq Lawson was on top of him. Quinnen Williams was on top of him. Mm-hmm. You still have that problem. Just because you're better than I think you are does not mean that everything I said in the offseason wasn't completely true. You do have a massive offensive line problem. And the Jets just rolled out a blueprint that's pretty replicable. Because Brandon Echols is fine. He's not a great corner. Bryce Hall is a great corner. Mm-hmm. They just showed. All you have to do is get in his face. Get in Jamar Chase's face and wait for the pressure to get to Burrow because it's going to.
Yeah.
So now the question is, which wins out? The talent, which is very obvious with this Bengals team, mm-hmm. or the poor coaching from Zach Taylor? Because I felt like he had no second act. He thought the Jets were going to play that 3-deep cover look on Jamar Chase, and I'm just going to dink and dunk you to death. Well, that's not what you got. Rob Salah threw a curveball at you, and Zach Taylor had no clue how to fix it. Mm-hmm. None. Now, and by the way, I would be remiss if I didn't say you got absolutely teetotally fucked on that helmet-to-helmet call, which might be one of the worst calls I've ever seen. I'd be remiss if I didn't point that out. Mm-hmm. The Jets damn near tried to give you this game back, and the officials went, no, you can't do that.
But also,
there's a fat ginger man that will be very sad.
But also, throwing deep in your own territory.
That's
up
a
by
Zach Taylor
4.
problem. That's a Zach Taylor problem.
Yeah, right. Like that's NFL 101.
You have to look at Joe Burrow. And look, I don't know if Burrow checked off. I know he did a lot of things at the line before that play.
Mm-hmm.
You have to look at Joe and go, punting ain't the worst thing in the world here.
Right.
But he's still a young quarterback. He's still it's second year in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Hasn't even started a full season's worth of games. So, this is one of those things that I'm watching overreactions on both sides going, you know what? I feel like you didn't watch the same game I did. Because I saw a very good Bengals team. I saw a much better than I thought they were Jets team.
Yeah.
That it was just a completely different game plan. The game plan with Zach Wilson is that he loves to go down the field because he's got this big He-Man arm. Mike White doesn't have that. So what do? He checked you down to death, and your linebackers just aren't that good.
Yep. Mike White was 37 of 45, 405 yards. It was the second most passing yards by any guy in his debut in the NFL. Only behind Cam Newton, who threw for 422.
Of which, the only way that yesterday could have been better is if Mike White had thrown for 423.
Right.
And so I could say, oh, yeah, Cam Newton, your stupid record got broken by Michael White.
But it was also the first time that a Jets quarterback had thrown for 400 or more yards since Vinny Testaverde.
Yeah, it's 20 years.
Yeah. An absolutely unbelievable story.
It was the most invested I've been in a Jets game in 5 years. Mm-hmm. Easy.
Jets come back from 16 down to win 34-31 over the Cincinnati Bengals.
Great win. Bengals are still real. I got news for you. When I do power rankings Wednesday, the number next to the Bengals is still going to be pretty damn low.
Mm-hmm. I was a week early. I was a week early on Jets +7.
Yeah. So you deferred to Lions +3.
I did. I went Lions +3.5.
No.
Boy, when I'm wrong. God, am I wrong?
Yep. And I've seen this a couple times too. The Bengals defense is not as good as we thought.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with you. It's not as good as it had looked at times. You still have that high side. You still have really good players. Trey Hendrickson's way better than I thought he was.
Right.
Jesse Bates is an elite player in this league. Owuzie is still a very good corner. But you just don't have I look at the Bengals right now like they're a 500-piece puzzle.
Mm-hmm.
And we've done the outside. All right, the border's done. Well, that's the easy part. Now you got to fill in everything in the middle. And everybody was rushing to put pieces together going, oh, this team's done. No, they're not. No, they're not. But they're still better than the vast majority of the NFL.
Right. 34-31, the Titans beat the Colts. I mean, did you have a major problem? I mean, obviously the Derrick Henry injury, we're all gonna wait and see how that turns out with the MRI today. He could be done for the season. But other than that, I mean, Ryan Tannehill's finding A.J. Brown in stride now. That seems like it's probably going to have to be the path forward from here on out.
Well, here's the bad thing.
The problem is you got to get somebody else involved.
Have you looked at the Titans' schedule? All right, so they're 6-2. Mm-hmm. You know who they play next week?
Who?
At the Rams.
Well, that's
you know
they
get the week out of that? The Saints. Then you get the Texans, at the Patriots, the Jaguars, at the Steelers, 49ers, Dolphins, Texans. There are enough wins on that schedule to get you to 10-7, which will win this division.
Yes.
So you're going to win the division. You'll be the worst division winner, I think, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're going to be fodder for the Bengals or the whoever else, the first wild card team out of the West.
Right.
Here's how this could go, and I hate to be the bearer of bad tidings, Titans fans. The Chiefs could start a really good run tonight.
How did I know that's where you were going?
And you could end up having to play them in Tennessee.
Oh, yeah.
And I guarantee you they're going to remember that 27-3 where you took a cheap shot at their quarterback late, and they'll embarrass you.
Oh, yeah.
They will embarrass you.
How did I know that's where you were going with that? Carson Wentz, though, throwing 2 late interceptions in the game.
Worst interception I've ever seen. The pick 6 to Elijah Molden. It's the first time I've ever seen a 0-yard interception return.
Mm-hmm.
I have never seen a pass picked off in their own end zone. That's a first. I've been doing this shit for a long time. That team's not good.
Mm-hmm.
Frank Reich is not a good coach. Period.
What else about the game plan did you not like? I mean, T.Y. got hurt again. Shocker of shockers. We're giving up on that. That's no longer a thing.
You go into a game with the Tennessee Titans. Carson Wentz throws it 50 times. Jonathan Taylor had a total of 19 touches. That's dumb. That's a dumb game plan. You were up 14-0. Michael Pittman was demolishing them. Still had 10 catches for 86 yards. If you watched my shitty by myself show, which we need to not do that again.
Shitty by yourself show.
Yeah, I need to not do shows by myself.
Yeah.
I need somebody that sets things up and just lobs them to me so I can go, woohoo!
Right. Sorry about that.
Nah, you're fine.
That's,
I thought I could do it. Yeah, know your limitations.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm not a ballerina, and I'm not somebody that should do web shows by myself. ESPN show, it's a little different. I've done that before.
Right.
And I thought the two things would replicate.
It didn't.
No, I at least need somebody that can speak. I need Press Box or Brian Haynes or somebody in here that can just go.
No,
Or.
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
When I don't have that, it's just me going, football.
Sorry, it couldn't be helped. As I was off with the Asheville Extreme Youth Football Program yesterday in the playoffs. Unfortunately, we lost.
It's all right. Just means that now we're headed down the home stretch of the NFL season, and
oh yeah,
all gas,
things
no
are
break.
locking in. Things are locking in.
By the way, mid-season reviews of every team coming this week. We're at. This is the unofficial halfway poll.
Yep.
There's 17 weeks in the season. This is week 9.
Yep.
So halfway.
Yeah. When we hit Wednesday, we'll officially be halfway on the 17-week season. Anyhow, yeah, Carson Wentz.
They're bad.
He
That team's
shit
bad.
his
Frank
pants
Reich's bad.
yesterday. Yep.
Defense is not good. There's literally nothing to like about the Indianapolis Colts. That team is bad. And I'm telling you, the shutdown of Carson Wentz is coming because they do not want to lose that first round pick to the Eagles.
Yeah. Speaking of bad, the Detroit Lions. They're not a good team. They are not good at all. And I had too much faith. Yeah. I had too much faith. I just don't know how you do that. You expect the Eagles were going to run the ball. I didn't expect they were going to run the ball that well.
Well, 46 carries for 236 yards. That's a thing.
It was a
That's
lot.
a thing that happened.
It was a lot. 44-6. God, when I'm wrong, I am super wrong.
Kelvin Joyner said in the comments, what if one of us zoomed in to co-host next time someone's out?
There you go.
I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. We have a lot of people that could do that, too. Why did we not think of that? We had an objective. That person didn't answer the phone, so I went, well, guess I'm by myself.
I guess I'll do it by myself.
I was going to have my wife in here, but, she went,
No,
no,
How's she all of a sudden so camera shy?
I don't know. She's literally the only person in this consortium that should be on camera, and she refuses to.
Right.
We put our two fat heads on camera all the time, and the hot one goes,
No, just not going to do it.
I'll never figure that out.
She doesn't want all the fan mail. That's what that's all about.
Armchair said, already told you, call me. I didn't even think of it. Oh, there she is in the comments. Nope.
No, not doing it.
Yeah, your lines are bad. And now you get to eat wasabi.
I still feel like I should get some credit for getting all the other games right.
Here's the thing.
That we differed on.
Well, here's the thing.
That's good.
You don't. So, tough shit.
I mean, come on. You give me.
You know what? This
you give me Seattle.
The objective here is that this
Titans.
should have taught you a very valuable lesson.
Oh, don't let you set the parameters for a contest after we've already made the picks?
No.
Yeah, that's I learned my lesson 100%.
No, that'll always be the case. And actually, that wasn't even my idea. You can blame Michael Whiteside for that one. You should really not talk shit. When I'm sitting here going, you probably shouldn't talk shit. Did you hear Dan Campbell after this game? His press conference was one of the most laughable things I've ever heard in my life. He just walked out, looked at the camera, and went, "Well, that was bad."
Yeah.
Well, no shit.
You got to love a guy who has that raw honesty about him, though.
Yeah, but see, sometimes you shouldn't. Sometimes you should just go, well,
Yep.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah. God, and it's just so baffling. Like, the Philadelphia Eagles are so baffling to me because Jalen Hurts is so damn bad.
By the way, you remember that thing you said where you got the better quarterback?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you realize how stupid that was now?
Oh, I'm sticking
By
with
the way,
it.
that's when you went off the rails to me.
Yeah.
When you went, I get the better quarterback. No, I don't think you do.
Yeah, I do.
More talented? Maybe. Maybe.
Jalen Hurts is just so damn bad.
Rob Johnson said, didn't the Chief pick the Lions too?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
He did.
Well, hot diggity damn.
Yeah. On our Beat the Chief, on the games that we differed on, I went 3-1, and you guys went 1-3. And somehow I lose the bet on the one.
What's the one you
that
talk
you said
shit
I was
about?
the craziest.
Yeah,
on.
here's the thing. Don't talk shit. Come at the king, you best not miss. There's a reason that I'm on top of that board. Just throwing that out there.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah, okay. That's fine.
That's
fine.
I'm getting closer.
Hey, look, I fell for the Bengals this week.
Hey, I'm only a game behind
Or
now.
not the Bengals. I fell for the Jaguars this week.
I'm only a game behind now. I
Yeah.
picked up 2 games on you this week.
Close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades, and I don't see either one in your hand.
Right,
So
44-6. I was at the game, and I'm checking the scores, and it was like 17-0. I was like, that's still doable. We could do that. I'll check that later. Pick it back up 30 minutes later. Oh, well, that's not going to go my way.
hot.
Yeah, when it
Good
was
for you.
it was not my day. Not my day.
It was the only need that you needed.
It was the only, like every other guy. I could have gone 1-3 this week. Just give me the one so I don't have to drink wasabi bullshit.
Well, here's the thing. You know what that means?
Whatever you're gonna find.
Tomorrow is sushi day.
Oh God, don't do that. Don't do that.
Oh, wait. Where's my button? I don't get to use this one very often.
Good. Let the hate flow through you.
Oh, it's got that taste in my. Oh. Anyhow.
Moving on.
The Detroit Lions, they're bad, and I'm done having any kind of faith in that team. The Steelers, though, they covered for us. 15-10 over the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, the Cleveland Browns are bad. Are we all on the same page now that they're the worst team in that division? You remember when I said that? Everybody went, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, I think I do. Yeah, I think I do. That offense sucks. Mm-hmm. Kevin Stefanski, the offensive genius.
If he had a quarterback, it'd be different.
I don't know
he's
that
got
it would.
Baker Mayfield.
I don't know that it would because you're asking him to do things that I swear to you, it looks like Kevin Stefanski is resigned to we're going to have to just play field position. Mm-hmm. You can't do that. This is still a guy you use the number 1 overall pick on. You can't just put your head in the sand and go, oh, he sucks.
Right.
Well, he does suck. We all knew that. But you have the best running game in the NFL, and you still can't figure out how to do that.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of is – you have to look at Kevin Stefanski and go, it's on you, bro.
Mm-hmm.
You're the offensive guru. You figure it out.
Yep.
You're the one that took this job knowing Baker Mayfield was the quarterback. Just saying. You're the one that walked in like the big dick in the locker room and went, look at this. Oh, now it's un poco.
Well, he knows he only has to deal with it for a couple of years.
I don't know that that's true.
That's how he took it. That's how he took that job. I guarantee
I'm just
it.
telling you. There was a play on the sideline where Baker got hit, and he came out going, "Rah!" and the stadium went nuts, and I went, you're fucked.
Yeah.
You are so fucked because you have to pay him. You don't have a choice, and it is so funny to me.
Yeah, what's your
If they
alternative?
let Baker Mayfield walk out the door, and he's so much as a serviceable NFL quarterback, that fan base will turn on them aggressively.
Is that not a
And
risk
this is
you're
the
willing to
problem.
take, though? Is it not a risk that you're willing to take of, sure, okay, let's let him go to Denver and see how that works?
Would I do it? Absolutely.
Yeah.
But I also don't care what people think.
Right.
You know, I'm a grown man that went in public wearing shorts the other night. I don't really give a rat's ass what you think. Like, I just don't care. I have a cool life and a hot wife, so fire away. I don't give a shit.
Right.
Do I think the Cleveland Browns are – I love analogies. Analogies are kind of my thing. The Cleveland Browns are like that frumpy girl from high school that all of a sudden, went to college and found herself and now but there's still a lot of insecurities back there. There's still a whole lot of, am I really good enough? Do I just want people to like me? And that's what ultimately leads to you paying Baker Mayfield. And I got news for you, they're gonna. And that, by the way, didn't have to be the frumpy girl. It could have been the frumpy guy from high school, too. Not trying to be sexist.
Right.
I don't care. They're the frumpy person you went to high school with that found a little gumption in college, but there's still voices in the back of the head going, am I good enough? I just want people to like me. That's the Cleveland Browns in a nutshell.
I'm starting to feel like, though, that with Baker Mayfield, Jarvis Landry, Odell Beckham Jr., it's got to be a situation where they just blow. Keep your running backs in place and blow up the rest of it.
Well, here's the thing.
Get you a new
the line was
quarterback.
hurt yesterday. You were playing a markedly better defense. The Browns are not good. They're not a playoff team. There's not. And you can piss in one hand and shit in one hand, want in the other. See which one fills up faster.
Right.
By the way, Jonathan Welch said I had a script for the McRib thing. No, I didn't. I had extra pickles on my sandwich, and that was just the leaflet on top of it. We've never scripted a damn thing, ever. The next script we have on this show will be the first one.
Script.
And it shows often.
Mm-hmm. Why is he accusing you of using a script?
Well, because I had the little receipt from my McRib.
No.
And I guess that looked like a script. We don't do scripts.
Yeah, no. Nah.
Do you think any of this shit that comes out of our mouths was thought about for more than 10 seconds before we said it?
No. Everything's better on the fly, in my opinion. Anyhow, so last night or yesterday afternoon, the Steelers beat the Browns 15-10. It's not a whole lot to take away from that game other than the fact that Baker Mayfield sucks.
Bad.
And
He's bad.
And they need to shelve him. Find something else with that shoulder. Shelve him. Use Case Keenum. Build the. That's what I'm doing if I'm Kevin Stefanski. I'm building the resume against Baker.
It's not even that. It's not even that. Now, if you look at the schedule, they play the Bengals next week. Good fucking luck because the Bengals are going to beat your brains out. You get down the line from that, there's. At the Patriots, do you not look at that a little differently right now?
Right.
Mac Jones he's not going to beat you, but he's not going to beat himself either. You got to win against the Lions. I could legitimately see them not winning another game all year.
Yeah.
I could see this team going 5-12. That's how bad they are.
They can still beat the Denver Broncos, though.
Well,
who are bad as well.
Oh, they've already beaten them. That's what
I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. They're still good enough to beat bad teams.
I'm just saying, look at the schedule moving forward. You play the Ravens twice. You have to play the Steelers again. You play the Bengals twice, at the Patriots, the Raiders, and at the Packers.
That's rough.
Where are the wins in that?
Right. Maybe the Patriots.
It's in Foxborough.
Yeah, that's going to be tough.
I don't love that for you.
Question is, if that slide happens, is there questions about Stefanski?
No, Stefanski, he earned a lot of credits last year just getting them to the playoffs and winning the game.
Yeah. In a gross fest, the Carolina Panthers beat the Atlanta Falcons 19-13. Ugh.
It was gnarly.
It was mistake-filled football all over the place. I kept saying last week, this is it. This is when Sam Darnold turns it around. No,
You didn't watch this game, did you?
What?
Sam Darnold's the reason they won this game.
Oh, I get it, but still, mistake after mistake, dropped pass after dropped pass.
Here's the thing.
It hasn't
you know what they figured
better.
out?
They just won because Atlanta was bad.
Not true. That's not true at all, and it screams at somebody that didn't watch a fucking second of this game.
Okay.
Because that's not how this went. Sam Darnold was the best player on the field for 2.5 quarters of this game. Now, he got no help from his receiving corps, but there was one very, very, very obvious thing that happened. His name was Amir Abdullah, because all of a sudden you wound up with a running back that was some form of threat out of the backfield and could block. Why it took you so long to figure this out, I ain't got the damnedest of a clue. They beat the hell out of the Falcons. This game was never really close. It wasn't. Cordero Patterson scored. Woo. There was a lot of field goals for Carolina. Other than that, you beat their brains out. Sam did exactly what he was asked to. And I got news for you. When he's out of the pocket, This is a tough offense to defend.
Mm-hmm.
He also took one of the hardest shots I have ever seen a quarterback take, got up and did it again.
Right.
On the next play.
Right.
Got practically decapitated on the second one. Carolina's a better team, not close. I still think this is a back-end playoff team or first team out.
Mm-hmm. You think
and Atlanta sucks.
You think they can continue to do this against good teams?
Well, here's the thing. They don't really have to, because look at the damn schedule. Up until you get into that Bills, Bucks, Saints, who we'll get to the Saints in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You play the Patriots in Carolina next week. I will like you in that game, and I'll get to why later. At the Cardinals, yeah, you're probably going to lose that. Then you play the football team, the Dolphins, the Falcons again. This team's going to win 9 or 10 games. Depends on if they beat the Saints.
Okay.
That's a back-end playoff team in the NFC because the divide is gigantic.
Right.
Name me the 7th team in the NFC right now.
Oh, God, is it
And I'm not talking
Minnesota?
about from standings. I'm talking about name me the 7th best team in that conference.
God, is it Minnesota?
All right, so just looking at the standings right now, it's Carolina.
Oh,
They're
okay.
7. So you go Saints, Bucks, Dallas Cowboys, LA Rams, Arizona Cardinals, Green Bay Packers. Look at the teams after that. You get Minnesota's 8. They ain't good.
Mm-hmm.
San Francisco's 9. They're not particularly good. They just let Justin Fields cut them up like a damn birthday cake.
Right.
And then you go Falcons, Eagles, Seahawks, Bears, Giants, Washington football team, Detroit Lions.
That's bad.
That is dog water.
Mm-hmm.
That is dog shit water. That is the dog got tired of waiting, shit in his bowl, and then tried to consume it. That is awful.
Right.
I still think they're a back-end playoff team.
It could be.
And Sam out of the pocket, that is the one thing. All the people that were calling for Joe Brady's job, you know what he figured out? We got to get Sam out of the pocket.
Yeah, we
we
gotta run the
have
ball.
to treat him the way that the Chicago Bears treated Justin Fields yesterday. Weird how all of a sudden he looked like an NFL quarterback when you got him out of the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
Middling arm talents have to be able to move at this point.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully the concussion's not too bad. Hopefully he won't miss time for that. It just seems like you just can't catch a break. You keep having setbacks with CMC. Sam Darnold gets hurt. DJ Moore continues to drop passes.
Just what I saw out of Amir Abdullah, and I think he was on the field for like 20 snaps.
Mm-hmm.
He's a hoard out version of CMC. When he comes back, you're fine. By the way, I have to mention this because I got sent this like 50 times. Can we stop with they're willing to trade Christian McCaffrey? There are these websites that deal with salary cap things.
Right.
Do you realize what the dead cap hit on Christian McCaffrey would be? God.
Let me guess.
A mess.
$70 million.
It's not that much,
not
but it's
that
a
much?
lot. I'm looking it up now
Yeah.
because I can't remember exactly what it was, but it is a shit ton.
I'd have to imagine it's a whole bunch. Is this the first year of the new contract, or is that next year?
Next year. The new contract hasn't even kicked in. That's why it's so damn hard to find.
Right.
Let's just go to that year. $27 million is the dead cap hit.
Jesus.
Stop with that, okay? Because there's a cap guy in that room somewhere that would go, you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't pay $27 million in dead cap hit to a running back to take on a contract that, by the way, I don't know if Houston knew he liked butthole things, but they crafted that deal in a way that it ain't going to kill them to trade him.
Oh, Deshaun Watson.
Yes, I'm telling you right now. I went down the
Who
rabbit
are
hole.
you talking
Well,
about?
I get AP articles and all kinds of things. Somebody did a cap analysis of exactly how much it would cost Houston.
Okay.
I don't know if they knew he was weird or if they just have a fucking genius in their cap department. It's like half of what Carson Wentz was.
Well, they had to know. I mean, they had to know because he already was iffy when they were signing the extension.
What do you mean he was iffy?
On whether or not he wanted to be there.
No.
There was a lot of that talk
I'm
going
not talking
on.
about that. I'm talking about his weird predilections. Because you could have never thought, if you thought you were going to deal him, you wouldn't have signed him to this deal. But the amount of dead cap and shit, it's mind-boggling.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to remember the guy's name that actually wrote the story. I'll throw it out on the ESPN show today. I can't think of it. But it was very well written. But yeah, the basic tenor of it was, Deshaun Watson's really not a problem, dead cap-wise.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey, on the other hand, He's a big problem.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't think they thought about that?
No.
What if we have to trade him?
No.
Okay.
To be honest with you, I'm shocked that Deshaun Watson accepted it. And that could be what it is that Deshaun was like, I'm putting my own out clause in this that you're not going to have, we can't afford the dead cap hit as a reason to get away from this.
Right.
I actually think it was Deshaun Watson's agent more than it was the front office of the Texans.
Mm-hmm. Well, it wasn't quite the beatdown that we expected, but the Buffalo Bills, 26-11 over the Miami Dolphins.
It was a beatdown. I mean, it was just it was a gross fest, exactly like I told you.
Right.
You remember what I said the score of this game would be?
No.
17-3. I was pretty damn close.
That's pretty close.
Because it was gross and cold and wet and bleh. Yeah, Bills are the best team in the AFC.
No doubt.
And that's not spicy. It's the way it is.
I mean, they've been that way for several weeks.
By the way, do you know who the 1 seed in the AFC is right now?
The 1 seed in the AFC? I guess it would be the Bills.
Nope. Bills are 5-2. They're tied with the Ravens and Raiders. They're all 5-2.
Oh, is it the Titans?
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 6-2 Derrick Henry-less Tennessee Titans.
That'll change quickly.
It sounds like that stupid trailer for that god-awful Halloween movie that I've seen about 900 times. This time Michael dies. Spoiler.
No,
No, he doesn't. And now that we're after Halloween, I can tell you that at one point they actually get him on the ground and beat him in the head with a shovel for 5 minutes. Still doesn't die. Stop watching those movies.
And shot him several times.
They shot him in the head one time. Bionic Michael Myers. This Halloween.
Because he comes straight from hell.
This Halloween. Evil can't die.
26-11, Bills over the Miami Dolphins. I don't know.
It's really nothing to take away from this game other than fire Brian Flores and do it quickly.
Just get him out of
God,
town.
he sucks. Worst team in the AFC right now is who?
Houston Texans.
It's Miami Dolphins. They're dead last in the AFC.
Oh, wow.
They actually lose the tiebreaker to the damn Texans.
Impressive.
And my Jets, baby, 2 wins.
I feel like that's hard to do. Speaking of the Texans, they got killed by the LA Rams yesterday. It was 38-0, and then the Rams just pulled everybody off the field.
Cool. You want to score? That's fine.
Yeah, here, have some points.
The Houston Texans are the worst team I've ever seen. I swear to you, if the Houston Texans right now played the Detroit Lions, I think the officials would win. I don't know how. I just don't feel like anybody would score.
It'd be like that Wake Forest Virginia Tech game from a few years back.
I don't remember the one you're talking about.
Where it was 0-0 at the end of regulation.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah, it's just a suck fest.
Right. Just a bunch of god-awfulness.
Yeah, the Houston Texans are not an NFL team.
No. Matthew Stafford did his damage yesterday.
Jason Trump asked, what's with the Rams giving up halfway through the game? They were up.
Why wouldn't they?
38-0. They looked at this and went, we could go home and they won't score 40 points.
Right.
So they did.
Why would
Brandon Cooks beat a 9th-string corner? Sweet. I don't really care.
Why would we even try at this point?
And that's Sean McVay in a nutshell. It's like the same guy that doesn't play his players in the preseason.
Exactly.
Like, you should know this is coming. All the Rams are really trying to do on a week-to-week basis, build enough of a lead that they go, hey, let's put in John Wolford. Let's do that. That's fun.
Because this is how championship teams are built. Championship teams are not built by, blowing out other teams and still having your star running back on the field in the fourth quarter. Somebody did that recently. Oh, it was the Tennessee Titans. They did that a couple of weeks ago. And where is their running back now?
There it is.
Yeah. So 38-22.
And Trump said more worried it'll bite him in the ass. I'm telling you, they don't pull players until it's super over. It's just they do it where a lot of other teams don't.
I mean, you're up 38-0 in the third quarter. What is the point?
There was literally nothing the Texans
against a team that you could just send out high schoolers out there, and I'm not sure that they could score 38 points.
Yeah, the Houston Texans are legitimately the worst team I've ever seen.
The Patriots pulled the surprise against the Los Angeles Chargers, 27-24. Justin Herbert didn't have a great game for the second week in a row. That seems to be an issue that they're going to have to figure out. I was shocked as hell when I saw this, that they didn't come out with the fire of 1,000 suns after getting their asses handed to them and having the bye week against the Patriots. Is it one of those Bill Belichick thing, like Bill Belichick just knows how to game plan for Justin Herbert because he made him look bad last year too?
The Chargers aren't ready to contend, and that's not an overreaction. It's not. I told you in the offseason that I feel like we're putting the cart before the horse with the Chargers. They cannot stop the run to save their lives. I mean, it does not matter. Yesterday, Asante Samuel went down. I have yet to hear if that's a long-term thing.
I haven't heard either.
I haven't heard. Zach Anderson, I love realistic fans. He said next year will be better. You're right. You have to learn how to win. That's the biggest problem right now with the Chargers. You have to learn how to win. This is a team that has all kinds of talent, but they're just a little clunky. Like everything's just no matter what you're talking about, everything is just a little bit clunky. And I feel like there is a little bit of figuring Justin Herbert out going on. There is a reason that quarterbacks go into sophomore slumps. And the reason is because you get tape on them, and then their deficiencies become very obvious. And one of the problems that I see with Justin Herbert is that there's not a lot of progression that happens with him. It's pretty much 1-2 reads. They're just so good that they tend to be open. He made some horrid decisions yesterday. Now, is that something to long-term be scared of? No, because usually when you have the third-year bounce back, it's because the quarterbacks, as you go along, you start getting the best shot of defenses, and they figure out how to progress past that.
Right.
Justin Herbert's still a fantastic quarterback. Fantastic. Right now, they're missing a weapon. They need a third legitimate weapon, and Austin Eckler cannot be the only back in that backfield. He is. I love how he works. I love his workout regimens and things like that. He's not an every down running back. He is a gadget piece. That is what he is. So they need somebody between the tackles. Justin Jackson had one good run yesterday, but I just feel like this is kind of what I was trying to tell you. Now, I said this about Washington. I said about the Chargers. I was obviously much more right about Washington.
Right.
I still think this is a playoff team. I don't. I'm going to say something, and you're going to tell me I'm out of my mind.
Okay.
The Las Vegas Raiders are going to win this division. The Las Vegas Raiders are going to win this division.
I want to tell you you're out of your mind, but
I'm not.
I don't know.
The Las Vegas Raiders are going to win this division.
I'm having the damnedest of a time trying to figure out the AFC West.
Yeah, it's weird.
I mean,
here's what I know definitively. The Denver Broncos suck a lot. Other than that, I think all three of them are playoff teams. You remember that thing I said about the AFC a minute ago? Or about the NFC, how the bottom end of that conference sucks so bad?
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the thing. Let's do the same game in the AFC.
In the AFC.
Who's the 7 right now in the AFC?
The Colts?
Nope. The Colts are 5th from last.
Ooh,
They're
wow.
3-5.
Wow.
The 7 right now would be the LA Chargers. The next 3 teams out are the Patriots, Browns, and Broncos.
So it gets pretty thin pretty quick.
Yeah.
Is what you're saying.
But this is one of those years, and we're going to talk about this on the ESPN show this afternoon. The delineation between good and bad has never been this drastic. Because I could honest to God right now make a case that there are 5 legitimate Super Bowl contenders in this league. And everybody else is just some form of palaver.
Okay. Buffalo Bills, Tampa Bay, the Rams, the Ravens. No. The Packers. Who am I forgetting? Cardinals?
That's it. I can literally point out a huge problem for every one of those teams. And I'll be honest with you, if I had a 6, it'd be the Raiders. If I had a 6, it'd be the Raiders. They're the one team that's the closest to me to putting themselves into that. There's just so much instability around that team that I've never seen a team get away from this much bullshit. So I'm going to have to see it a little bit more.
Man, that's unbelievable to think. There's only one AFC team that's on your short list to win a Super Bowl.
Name me another one. Name me the two in the AFC.
Yeah, I can't.
Because the two in the AFC just watched their best offensive piece limp to the sideline and be done for the year.
Yeah, the injury to Derrick Henry absolutely
changes
matters.
Everything. I've never seen a team.
I'd still say the Ravens are the two.
I would disagree with you. I would disagree with you. That defense is just not that good.
Mm-hmm.
Their high end is very good, but they're maddeningly inconsistent. And you can't keep doing close-up magic and just expecting it's going to work.
Right.
How many games could they have lost? Because it's several. Mm-hmm. You just can't keep doing that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, they're up there.
Yeah. The 49ers beat the Bears yesterday 33-22. Justin Fields. There's a lot of hype about Justin Fields and his performance yesterday.
Yep. And this needs to be stated very loudly.
Okay.
There is hope for Justin Fields after all, and it's not an overreaction. And I have yet to hear anybody say this, so I'm going to say it very loudly. Do you not find it strange that the first game that he looked like an actual NFL quarterback, Matt Nagy was far away? Do you not find that odd?
It is weird how that happened.
Because we talked about this shit a lot of, Justin Fields just refuses to run, and why does he never break the pocket? Weird, He did yesterday.
Yeah.
No Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy's at home sucking his thumb, with his banky.
Right. And apparently he has given up.
Right.
Like last year, there was a point where he gave up play calling duties to Bill Lazor, and then he took them back. And then I think it was 3 weeks into this season, he apparently gave play calling duties back to Bill Lazor again.
Yeah, I don't know what the hell they're doing, and I don't know who that person was that was running the team yesterday, but his haircut was real bad. And that's coming from a dude with a mullet.
Right, but I think it does say something. It does say something when Matt Nagy's no longer around, and guess what? He had the best game he's had all year.
I feel like if you're the Chicago Bears, you have to look around right now and go, uh-oh, we have a problem. And you need to eradicate the problem. Problem is, you keep winning. It's real hard to fire a coach when you're 4-4.
Yeah.
But Matt Nagy is 100% a problem. But, I mean, you saw with Justin Fields, when you're afraid of him running, this has been an evolution in the game for quite some time, and it's never been more obvious than it is right now. Mm-hmm. Guys that can beat you with their feet, there's one huge problem with guys that can do that. You can't play man. If you play man against that, what happens? You single up, every receiver gets a guy that goes with them, and all of them turn their back on the quarterback, and they have no freaking clue what's happening behind them.
Right.
And you saw a lot of that with Justin Fields yesterday. Arm, still suspect. Still suspect. But now you're dumbing down what defenses can do. Mm-hmm. You're limiting what a team can do against you. And I do think it needs to be reiterated because people seem to be forgetting this. You do realize they lost, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, they lost this game.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Garoppolo carved them up like a Thanksgiving turkey.
And the running game was working with Elijah Mitchell. It was kind of methodical.
Elijah Mitchell, man, there was a guy at the draft that said, God, I can't remember his name.
Uh-huh.
Good-looking chap from what I remember.
Yeah, we all know who you're talking about.
Here's the thing. Here's how I think this goes. Matt Nagy comes back next week. Mm-hmm. They play at the Steelers on Monday Night Football next week. Punished. Then you play the Ravens. Actually, you may not even make it that far. If you lose badly enough, Matt Nagy gets fired next week.
Okay.
You go into the bye week, and you just say, hey, here we go.
Yeah. Brand new coaching staff. Maybe you get the little bump off of him not being there.
And I
then
think
hopefully
there would be
build on Justin Fields.
Because Justin Fields looked like I'll be honest with you. I've watched every throw he's made in the NFL. He looked like a different quarterback yesterday. Mm-hmm. The arm is still suspect. There are still things about the arm that I don't like. There are still decisions that I don't like, but it slowed the game down. It slowed the game down because you're using his greatest asset. Mm-hmm. And his greatest asset is his ability to beat you with his feet.
Yep. Averaged 10 yards a carry yesterday, over 100 yards rushing for Justin Fields. They had a 16-9 lead at one point, and then San Francisco just came back in the second quarter, ended up taking the lead.
84-yard completion to Deebo Samuel, that does tend to change the tides.
It helps. 33-22, final score, 49ers over the Bears. I've been putting it off. I guess we'll have to talk about it. What the Tom Brady? You knew Tom Brady was going to throw the game-winning touchdown at the end of that game.
He did.
To
the Saints.
He did. Son of a bitch.
Poor Tommy.
Yeah.
Poor little Tommy Brady.
Yeah. You just you can't do that. You let Trevor Siemian come in and beat you.
This game was so. This
I
game is so easy, in my opinion, to analyze what happened. I want to see if you, as a Bucs fan, agree with me. I'm not going to say anything. You tell me what you saw. I want to see if we line up.
Oh no, you need to recap this. You remember I was out of town yesterday, so all I did was read recaps and see highlights. So you tell me what you saw. You tell me what happened to my team.
They became very predictable. There's no balance. Bruce Arians happened. That's what happened. Mm-hmm. Bruce Arians yesterday looked like a 12-year-old that just discovered his dinger. Mm-hmm. And you remember when that happened and you just didn't accomplish shit for like a week and it was the cleanest in the county?
Right.
Because you just kept cleaning it. That's what Bruce Arians looked like to me. Mm-hmm. He looked like a kid that couldn't help himself. We're going to throw 1 billion times.
Right.
And they did. And that's fine. Tommy had a great stat line. Mm-hmm. How many carries did Leonard Fournette have in this game?
12.
8. Other than Leonard Fournette, they combined for 6. There's no balance. Mm-hmm. When you have a secondary like that, you better have some form of balance. Trevor Siemian was fine. Mm-hmm. He was a decent enough back. I feel the same way about every one of these backups, by the way. Everybody called this the day of the backup.
Yeah,
Geno Smith and Cooper Rush and Mike White, Trevor Siemian, they all did exactly what they were asked to do. You go out there, don't lose this game.
Right.
That's all we need.
Right.
And that's what they did. Now, I do have a huge problem with the Saints.
What's that?
Because right now the narrative is the Saints are an NFC contender. Mm-hmm. No, not. That defense is very good. That defense does some chaotic shit.
Right.
They're not a contender. Now they're going to win. They play the Falcons next week. Then you go at the Titans, at the Eagles, Bills, Cowboys, at the Jets, at the Bucks, Dolphins, Panthers, Falcons. There are a lot of losses there, especially with Taysom Hill or Trevor Siemian.
Right.
I believe Siemian will be the starter going forward. I know Taysom's hurt. I think you're going to see more of that Taysom sprinkled in because this offense is just not very good. Mm-hmm. This offense is not very dynamic outside of Alvin Kamara. So the way you protect Trevor Siemian is Taysom Hill because you have two quarterbacks that to me are not starters in the NFL.
Right.
These are not guys that should be even spot starting in the NFL. But if you combine the two things that they do well and go sleight of hand, close-up magic, they can make the playoffs, and you will get smoked. But Jameis Winston's done for the year, by the way. I don't know if that's been reported, but Jameis Winston's done for the year.
He's absolutely done for the year. That's a shame, too. I mean, it really is. Like, I saw the play. I saw the replay of it, and it's one of those things, like, you see a guy break the rules, and then to know that he caused the season-ending injury by breaking the rules. I mean, you were talking about how Devin White was chirping at everybody on the field yesterday.
It was not a good look.
But it's not a – I don't know.
Because by rule, he did not actually do anything wrong.
On the horse collar?
It wasn't a horse collar. Horse collar, the hand has to be inside the back. He grabbed the back of his jersey. Mm-hmm. That's not a penalty. It's not.
Oh, okay.
Should it be? Probably. Because to me, it's kind of 6 one way, half dozen
I thought
the
it
other.
Was anything within the shoulders.
No. Has to be inside the collar. That's why it's called a horse collar.
Mm-hmm.
You can grab somebody by the back of the jersey all you want to. Now, is it a good idea? No.
No, because this is why they
Usually
put the rule into place.
Yeah, the thing with the horse collar is that there's much less give in the collar than there is in the rest of the jersey. Mm-hmm. It's very hard to pull somebody down by the back of their shirt. If you don't believe me, try it.
Oh, yeah.
Find somebody vaguely your size and try to pull them down by the back of their shirt. It ain't real easy. Mm-hmm. Collar, a little different. But I do think you're going to see a change in that rule to what you said, that it will be anything on the back.
Yeah, anything on the back. Because it's just happened so many times that I just feel bad for Jameis.
I do too. And the other problem, your team was stupidly undisciplined yesterday. A billion yards in penalties.
Yeah, we had 100 yards in penalties, and
you just can't do that.
Right.
Your margin for error.
And we did it last year.
Here's the problem that I have with Tampa Bay. All right. This is kind of like, why did you vote for Biden? Tell me without saying Donald Trump's name. Tell me what it is that the Buccaneers are so good at without saying Tom Brady's name. You can't.
Yeah.
So your margin for error is thin. I watch a lot of Patriots teams do this. I'm not saying they're not talented. I'm saying now everything has been heaped on Tom. Oh, Tom was the savior. He'll fix everything.
Yep.
I watch New England do this a lot of times. Flawed teams. You don't get after quarterbacks, which is mind-boggling to me. I cannot for the life of me figure out how this team can't get to quarterback. And the secondary is just bad. You're going to be in a ton of shootouts. Can this team win a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Is your margin for error razor thin? Yeah.
Hit it again. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, it is. And last year, remember, this was the same problem that they had for the first 12 weeks of the season last year. I think we were the most penalized team until the break. And then the last few weeks of the season, all the penalties disappeared. Donovan Smith looked like the best left tackle in the entire league. And, everything started working.
I've always said Tom Brady is the greatest foundation on earth. Mm-hmm. And I know a copious amount of dudes listen to the show. So foundation is that the layer that your better half puts on their face that makes them all the things go away.
Right.
Tom Brady's the greatest foundation ever. He covers up a shitload of blemishes.
Yes, he does.
And right now, this is a team with a lot of blemishes. Mm-hmm. Does that mean you can't win a Super Bowl? No. And that's an overreaction. I actually almost put that on the screen. Because there are a lot of people, Tampa sucks now. No, they don't. Their margin's just not quite what it was.
No, they don't. And they had a shot to win the game, and Brady threw the interception.
You do have to remember that Brady's not infallible. Mm-hmm. That's what I think a lot of people just think. Oh, Tom got the ball, no doubt. Mm-hmm.
Because we were down big, and then Brady did what Brady does and pulled us back in the game, got the lead, and then the defense gave up the field goal, and then you get the ball back, and you're like, okay, here you go. This is Tom Brady 101. What's going to happen? He's going to drive down the field, and they're going to either score a touchdown or they're going to win this thing on a field goal. It just didn't happen. He misfired. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, I think, was the one that picked it off. Touchdown. 9 points is too much to overcome.
By the way, news that came out yesterday that we hadn't covered yet. Kyler Murray's out 1 to 3 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So you'll get to see Chris Streveler, the pride of the CFL, and a man with a mink coat and a gold chain and a cowboy hat.
John Skelton, is he still around? Is he still the backup?
He's been out of the league for a
long time.
The pride of Fordham.
Yeah. Seahawks 31-7 over the Jacksonville Jaguars. Geno Smith.
That's
the bad
right.
Team.
Joshua Pinnock said Colt McCoy's the backup. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, yeah.
Chris Streveler's still on the team, but he's the 3.
He's the 3.
That's right. Yeah. That makes me feel even better. Sorry, Chris Streveler, as armchair commentary, our resident Canadian just said, Chris Streveler was a Grey Cup MVP, I think. I know he won one. I think he was the MVP.
Okay.
He has a mullet and drinks beers, and I think tried to ride a bear. Like, he's a Jeremy kind of guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
Except for that whole bear thing.
Yeah, except for that whole in shape thing. I am Chris Streveler if Chris Streveler had discovered beers at 12.
Mm-hmm. Seahawks beat the Jaguars 31-7. Geno Smith against a bad team. It was all right.
DK Metcalf
James
is
Robinson.
A horse. I don't think he is a human person. Shaq Griffin's still trying to figure out where that ball went. Mm-hmm. Like, it was coming right at my face, and then it disappeared in the thin air.
James Robinson got hurt, so that's bad news for an already horrible Jaguars
really
team.
Hurt Jacksonville.
So
they're just not good.
No.
Trevor Lawrence looks brutal at times. Do you know what his QBR was yesterday?
Trevor?
28. Too high.
Really? 22?
Too high.
17?
Too high.
6.
12. Threw up a 12.
Beautiful.
Wasn't good. Wasn't good.
No.
This team's just very, especially when James Robinson got hurt, because James Robinson was going to have a day.
Yeah.
I talked about him on the show yesterday. James Robinson was going to have a day against the Seahawks defense. As soon as he went down, I went, uh-oh, this is no plan B. We don't have a plan B, and that means Trevor's going to throw it a bajillion times. He did, and it wasn't good.
Yeah. Seahawks cover? Yeah, I got one.
You didn't mean to.
Oh, come on. Don't be sore. Don't be sore just because I beat you on every game except for the one that mattered.
Okay. Yeah. You know what will be sore tomorrow? Your mouth. Your fryer
My
mouth.
stomach.
After it consumes wasabi.
Oof. Denver Broncos 17-10 over the Washington football team.
Not a lot to talk about here because both
Washington
these teams
sucks.
are poopy.
Washington sucks a whole bunch, but the Broncos can lean on their running game against bad teams and win.
It's really time to take an introspective look at Ron Rivera and this coaching staff because they got drugged by Vic Fangio yesterday. Taylor Heineke is bad. By the way, if you added Teddy Bridgewater and Taylor Heineke's QBR yesterday together, it was still only 60.
Oh.
If you added them together. If you watched more than, 20 plays of this game, I'm going to need a 500-word essay on why.
I got drunk and belligerent, and they had to strap me to a chair. That would be the only acceptable reason.
I'll break that chair. And I don't even care if you're a fan of one of these teams.
Oh, God.
You should at some point have been nicer to your eyes and just gone, nope, I'm out.
And then Sunday Night Football, the Dallas Cowboys 20, Minnesota Vikings 16. It's a lot closer than you wanted it to be, but who knew Dak Prescott wasn't going to play?
A lot of people.
Damn it. Damn it, man.
Yeah, that became a pretty popular narrative over the course of the week. And they left it. They left the Cowboys offense to Tom Sawyer himself.
Yeah.
Mean guy. Wow. Cooper Rush.
Cooper Rush got the job done. You got to love it. Backup quarterback leading the game-winning drive at the end of it.
If you had told me the Cowboys were going to average 3.3 yards a carry and start Cooper Rush, I would have gone, sweet. How many did they lose by?
Yep.
How many touchdowns? I'm going to start at 4, and I'm going to go higher because it couldn't possibly be lower. This Cowboys team,
They're the real
healthy
deal.
Dak. The reason that I didn't put them in that I don't really have them in that Super Bowl contender tier yet, I don't know how long this injury for Dak's going to last. And I'm a little nervous at how it was explained.
It's not. I couldn't imagine it's going to last long.
No, but it could hang around.
Yeah.
Because see, here's the problem. The limited mobility in the ankle is what puts the tension on the calf. That's why this would happen. Where that leads me is this may not be the only one. Because there is atrophy in muscle when you don't use it for an extended period of time. If you remember, he had issues before the season as well.
Right.
This is 2. With no Dak Prescott, they're not a Super Bowl contender. If you told me that this is the only game he misses all year, they are.
Okay.
And it's impressive that you were able to win this game.
Agreed.
By the way, Trayvon Diggs might be the most infuriating player in the history of the NFL to me.
All right. Why do you say that?
Because he's not a very good cover corner. He just continuously picks balls off. And then we get shit like last night where I'm like, Justin Jefferson should have eaten your lunchbox, and he didn't. I don't get it.
Micah Parsons had a game, though.
Yeah, he did.
And
he's good at football.
You gotta love that. Anytime a guy can rack up 4 tackles for a loss, this was my sanity moment of the day. From running around to youth football in Columbia, South Carolina, getting back into town at 7:30, running the boys in the house to get all their costumes on so we could go trick or treating. Last ditch effort to hit every house that we possibly could. I finally got it settled down at like 10 o'clock last night. Got to see the end of this game. And Cooper Rush didn't let me down. He was the hero of yesterday for me.
Yeah, I watched this game, and then I watched cult shit on HBO.
Cult?
Oh, I can't help it. Cult documentaries. You give me a good cult documentary, and I'm just for the next 2 days of my life.
I thought that was some kind of new show.
No,
hell God
no.
damn it. And the next person who says Squid Games at me, I want to punch you in the face.
I watched 17 seconds of that and went, I already hate this. Amy turned it on. I looked at her and went, no.
Yeah.
No.
No,
Saturday, we went over to the neighbor's house for a Halloween party, and the guy was like, "Hey, have you watched the Squid Games yet?" I was like, "No. I know, it looks stupid, and I don't want to." He was like, "Oh, it's really good. It's in Japanese." And I went, "Oh, wait, I got to read subtitles?" Yeah, I'm definitely out. Not going to happen. Don't even kind of care.
Nope. Not going to do it. Not going to do it.
So anyhow, Cowboys came up with the win. Yes, I agree with you. They are, I think they're already in that contender tier.
They're very close. The Dak thing's scaring me.
I mean, showing that you can deal with that. See, that's the thing I don't get about the Dak Prescott. Like, did he have a setback when he was on the field doing his warm-ups?
No, there was just
because they were showing all the tape with it, and I was
pain.
like, damn, he looks good. Why is he not playing?
There was just pain and discomfort, and that is not something you fuck with.
Right.
Because that is a weird injury, and it's one that can put you down.
Take note, Tennessee Titans. When there's pain and discomfort, don't put the fucking guy back on the field. Derrick Henry, possibly done for the year. Anyhow, we got Monday Night Football coming up tonight. The Kansas City Chiefs and the New York Giants. We'll talk about that this afternoon on the ESPN Asheville show, as well as recapping everything else that happened over the weekend. Georgia Bulldogs, that was the highlight of my weekend. Still number one with a bullet.
We'll be putting out our college football playoff rankings this afternoon on the ESPN show, which will also be live here on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we'll be breaking down. We'll be throwing out a visual on Facebook of membership tiers and all the things. We have new things coming. Integrating them is a bitch, but I think I finally figured it out. So a lot of new things. There will be an exclusive live stream after the ESPN show. Tell us what days you want to do that. We're thinking about doing it 3 days a week, probably the 3 days that we don't do live streams.
Yeah.
So just, a little extra bonus thing for all of you wonderful people that make our lives so much better.
Yeah. I know there's not a fire alarm going off in the studio. We need an electrician in here.
Really
I think there's
annoying.
been a rat chewing on some wires or something because I'm about to have an epileptic seizure.
Yeah, it's been blinking on my face, and I don't like it.
Can you even really tell it on the screen?
Oh God, yeah, it looks like a bad horror movie. I'm really glad you brought that up, so people didn't go, what is happening?
I've just been sitting here for it just got worse over the last 10 minutes, and now I'm starting to, my eyes are going wonky. And anyhow, we'll get that hopefully fixed for the afternoon show. You can join us back here, right here on YouTube and the Sportsocracy.com every afternoon, 3 to 5. The Sportsocracy, obviously also heard on the iHeartRadio app. On ESPN Asheville. We'll be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. as well. Everybody have a good day, and we will see you next time.